I have missed you, but I know it's been a long time since you've gotten a Miss Winston video, but I thought it would be a good time to talk to you and say hi. We only have a few weeks before school is starting, and depending on how you are going to go to school, some of this could be helpful for you to use at home. Some of this can be helpful for you to use if you go to the store with your parents or your sister or brother. Or some of this could be helpful for if you and your family decide to go back to the school building. So this will help all of us. So I know that the school year started out ended last year really weird. And it just was strange for all of us. We went from seeing each other every single day to having to watch videos of Miss Winston and do work at home and not see our friends except on the computer. And that is really weird, but there was a reason for that. And there's a reason that some of you might still do work on the computer. And sometimes Miss Winston will have more stuff for you to do on the computer versus with your friends in class. And that's because we're in the middle of what's called a pandemic. That's a big, scary word. And it just means that there is something going around that is making a lot of people sick. And right now it's because of a virus called COVID-19. You might also have heard it called the coronavirus. And that virus is making a lot of people sick, not just in our town, not just in our state, not just in our country, but all over the world. Sorry, see my little puppy. But it's making people all over the world very, very sick. And so it's something that we have to take very seriously and do the best that we can to help protect ourselves, to help protect our friends, to help protect our family, and to help protect people that we may come in contact with that we don't even know. So some things that are important to know about COVID-19 is that people who get sick with this, they might get a fever. You know, sometimes when you feel, you're so hot and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so hot. You might have trouble breathing. Remember when we did our lungs and we were breathing? Well, it would be very hard for your lungs to work. You could be very tired. Just nothing. You're just tired all the time and you can't not be tired. And then you start to feel very sick. So if you have COVID or if you know somebody who has COVID, they probably had one or if not all of those symptoms. Sometimes you can even have more symptoms than that, but those are the main ones. This virus, COVID-19, is very contagious. And contagious means that it can spread quickly from one person to another person. So if I had COVID-19 and then I came to school and I was hugging and being very close and talking to you guys right by your face, then it would be very easy for me to give you that virus and vice versa. If you came to school sick and you decided, oh, Ms. Winston, I just missed you so much. I'm going to give you so many hugs. But you were sick, you could get me sick, and then I could come home and get my husband sick, my nephew, and it would just spread and spread and spread. So how do we know for sure if we have COVID-19? Well, there is a test that you can get done in people who think they might have been exposed. So with somebody who got sick, they also can go and get a test done. and they would show if they have COVID-19. They take this Q-tip and they stick it all the way up your nose, up towards your brain, and they swab, and then they take it out. Whew. It looks very difficult to have done, but it's very important if you think you might be sick. And then if somebody finds out that they have COVID, then they will have to stay quarantined. And that means they have to stay in their house for 2 weeks so that they don't get other people sick. That means no going to the store, no going out to eat, no going to school. So if somebody gets sick, they have to stay home for 2 weeks so that they don't get anybody else sick. Some people who get COVID get very, very sick, and they have to go to the hospital for help. And that can be really scary. Hospitals can be really scary. The good thing is that there are people who are trained, and doctors and nurses who are fantastic, and will be there to help take care of whoever needs it. Most people with COVID feel better in a few weeks, so that kind of most of the time it runs its course. Sometimes you have to go to the hospital and have the doctors help you feel better, but most people feel better in a few weeks. So to keep everyone safe and healthy, we wear masks. I'm trying to get my mask on. Super important to wear your mask. I have a couple different ones that I really like, but this one is a good one. We wash our hands. We're going to do a video about washing our hands. So we wash our hands. And we practice social distancing. So that means that we stay 6 feet apart or more from people. Sometimes that can be hard to do. So we'll talk about that a little bit more, about how to do that in our classroom, because it's kind of really difficult to do that in our classroom. I don't know if we'd be able to keep 6 feet away, but we're going to do our best to keep as much distance from each other as we can. So those are very important things, and we are going to do videos to help us learn how to do each of those things more. We'll do a video about wearing our mask, and how sometimes it's really hard when it's hot out, and this can feel itchy and uncomfortable and make your ears hurt. So we'll talk about what we can do to help us feel more comfortable wearing our mask. We'll talk about washing our hands. How do we wash our hands correctly? Did you know there's a right way to wash your hands? Maybe you've been doing it wrong, so we need to learn the right way. And we'll learn about practicing social distancing. So we'll learn how to keep our distance from those people who we know, who we don't know, and making sure we're keeping ourselves safe and everyone else safe. All right. Yay. I think that's it for this first video. I love you guys, and I can't wait to help us learn more about how to keep us safe in the next few weeks and as we go back to school.